I am actually writing this the day after an experience with GHB. I still feel shaky and occasionally almost as if I'm still high. Focusing and writing is very difficult, but I'll try to relate the experience as well as I can. About 35 hours ago, I arrived, sober, at 2 a.m. at my favorite after-hours club, which had finally reopened after being closed down for some time. The music, atmosphere, and crowd were phenomenal. I took an ecstasy tablet, named a Rolex, around 2:30 a.m. and was very pleased and impressed with its quality and effects. I had a great time dancing and being in the company of friends. We had been consistently taking Renutrient, GBL or 2,3-H, furanone dehydro, nicknamed Newts, or New News with Ecstasy, in approximately 2-gram doses. After the ecstasy peak, taking Renutrients will revive the rolling experience and often surpasses the peak from the ecstasy alone. Consequently, I did not need to take as many tablets of ecstasy as I had been used to taking, and the X hangover the next day was significantly diminished. I had read that the body converts GBL to GHB, so I was willing to take GHB. I had only tried GHB a few times before, in small amounts, but I accepted some, a bottle cap full, from a friend at around 4 a.m. Over a half hour had passed and I commented that I felt nothing and wanted more. Everyone said that G was a creeper, and would sneak up on me, so I waited. I was very high and pleased with the G, ecstasy, newts and occasional bit of marijuana as one might expect. By the time we left around 8 a.m., I had taken only one more Rolex and 3 more caps of G. We went directly to another club where I danced for a while, but soon was very relaxed and spent most of the next few hours talking, hugging and giving or receiving massages. My level of happiness was euphoric and sensory stimulation was exponentially high, much more than usual when taking ecstasy. I took a half tablet of ecstasy when I arrived and another half 2 hours later. At about 11 a.m., I obtained a bottle of G from a friend since we were temporarily out of Renutrients and took 2 doses by noon when the club closed. I was extremely high and was disappointed that the club had closed, so we decided to have a party at my house. On the way home I took 2 more caps of G and 2 more doses of Renutrients. When I arrived, at home I took 1 more half of an ecstasy tablet, the last X that I took. We all danced in the house and on the balcony, much to the amazement and humor of anyone passing by. I was ridiculously high but having an extremely incredible time. Everyone kept commenting on how happy and high I looked, and they were correct. I told my good friend Marn that I loved her well over 50 times. At about 5 p.m., some friends arrived with Renutrients and over the next few hours I proceeded to take 4 doses of Newts and 3 caps of G. I felt that I was happier than I had ever been in my life. I had a profound appreciation for everyone around me. But soon I began to be overwhelmed. All of the G seemed to hit me at once. I kept telling my friend Tracy, "I'm so fucking high," over and over again. I could not stand still, and was very uncoordinated. I could not read or focus well. I began to feel nauseated, similar to the bed spins. I felt the urge to be paranoid, but remained unafraid. My friends comforted me greatly and kept me from totally freaking out. I began to vomit very violently, convulsing and heaving. My stomach was empty, so it was even more harsh. I had never vomited from any of the drugs that I had used before. I only vomited for a few minutes and felt much, much better. But I was still extraordinarily high and becoming incoherent. Friends said that I would soon be a deer down, meaning that I would pass out, which also had never happened to me before. Soon I was out cold and so unarousable that I did not notice everyone writing their names all over my stomach with ink pens. My friends stayed with me and I awoke about 2 hours later, was wide awake and feeling fine. I usually take more ecstasy in an evening but didn't need to because of the GHB. The G seemed to take a long time to kick in, and since the effects were so good, it was easy to just take more and more until I had taken far too much. But, thankfully not too much.